Good morning, everybody. Thought I would make just kind of an easy card this morning, and I used mine for Valentine's, but it could be for anything. So we're going to make a card where you can just cut out some shapes on the front, maybe add a little something to one of them, and that would be good to go. Again, on this one, I stamped some on the inside. I stamped a little bit on the envelope, as I promised myself I'm going to do. So for this one, I actually used dies. So I used the stitched shape so you can see, that it's got the little stitching on there. For the one I'm going to do on the video, I'm actually going to use a punch because I know a lot of people don't necessarily have a Big Shot or a die cut machine, but most everybody, I think, has some punches. This would work for any size punch cutout. It doesn't have to be a certain shape. I actually saw one similar that had the strawberry punch and had punched the strawberry punch going up here, and that was really cute. But I'm just going to stick with the squares that I did, and the circles is what I'm going to do today. So I'm using some paper. I wanted a dark paper for the background, and this is actually from the paper that we used last week in our video, the Dainty Flowers. Okay, and this is, like I said, just the back of one of those sheets of paper. And I picked it, like I said, because it was dark. I like a dark color here. You don't have to do that because both will give you a very different kind of a look. So if you wanted a light paper, that's okay too. But this is, again, a way, this particular side of the paper, I was not as enamored with as I was some of the other ones. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not necessarily me. But this side I really liked. So don't forget, that the papers always have the two sides so that we can use both sides. There's a little bit of sticky there. So let me just get this on here. This paper also doesn't have direction. I saw a card that had some cutouts that had a black and white striped that went this way, mostly black, but with some little white lines. That one was really cute. Okay, I'm just going to move these out of the way. All right, so far I'm just a regular A2 size card. This was 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. This is 4 by 5.25, just like we would do any other card. So then for the piece that I'm going to put over the top, I wanted some of the paper to show on both sides as well as the punches that I'm going to do in the middle. So this one is actually 3 inches by, I went the whole 5.5 to go the whole length of the card, but you could go 5.25. All right, so for this one, I want to make sure that my circles are in the middle. All right, so since this paper is 3 inches, I'm just going to mark the top and the bottom at 1.5. And I'm drawing a light line that you can either erase later or you can just use the opposite side. Okay, so now I know where the middle is. Okay, I can also do that for the up and down. So the 5.5, that'd be 2 3/4. Just kind of mark it there so I know where my middle is. All right, and now I'm going to use my old 1 3/4 inch punch on this one. Like I said, you can use any size shape that you want, but it's got to be able to reach. Another reason for using the 3 inches is, see, this one will then reach. If it only, see how the line is going right through the middle? If it only reached, say, that far, then you couldn't get your circles in the middle. Now, you could put them down one side, and that would work just as well. So I'm going to just punch the middle circle, and I am eyeballing it. If you would like to be very scientific and, do it exactly, then that's okay. And here I'm just eyeballing this. I have an extra piece cut just in case I mess these up, which is always a possibility. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm sure they're not exactly, they might be a 1/16 of an inch off or something. All right, so now, like I said on this punch is an old one, and I'm getting a little bit of an edge on that, so I would just sand that down. Again, that's my punch because it's well loved and well used. And then I'll just turn this over so that I don't have the marks on the paper. All right, so that's going to go on here. And I think they're actually a little bit skewed, but that's okay. I'll just pretend that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so on here, this time I think I'm going to put some dimensionals behind this and pop this whole piece up. You do not have to do that. It's just an option. On this one, I did not. I'm kind of to the end of my dimensional sheet, but you got to use every little bit on these. So just to show that you can pop these up, and they're give you a little bit of a different look. Still, either way, if you don't have dimensionals, just adhere it down. You can use liquid, you can use snail, whatever you might want. Make sure. And again, I'm just eyeballing this to try to get it even. Okay. Oh, and I should have stamped it first. Okay, so like I said, I'm using this. I'm making Valentine's. And I just put the for you on the front in case I decide not to use it as a Valentine. I want to use it for just, thinking of you or whatever. And I'm using the in colors on this one. This is the Starry Sky. Again, I'm going to stamp here where I don't have it popped up. Thank goodness that came out right. But what would I do if it didn't come out? Remember, we'd take something out of our words and just pop it on top of it. So it's no worries. Okay, so then I stamped some of these hearts and leaves and whatnot from the die or the punch, which is here. And that goes with the paper that comes with it, or it also fits the two hearts and the leaves here. And I think, you know what's interesting? I might try something on here that I was thinking about. I should have done it again before I adhered it to the front, but we're going to try this anyway and see if it's going to work. If it doesn't, like I say, got another piece, I'll just cover it up. All right, and this is that parakeet party. I really like this. And I'm going to go again. Okay, and I'm getting a little bit of a thing there, but that's okay. I just wanted to I'm going to take my pen, just color that in a little bit. And again, you'd usually stamp on a hard surface. And remember, already you can put dimensionals on this, but I can color it and it makes it okay for me. And then I'm going to put the heart here. I'm going to pop that one up too, just for something different. making this like a flower, but with the heart instead of the flower. There we go. And then I can stick a couple of these little leaves here and there. I might just put a little bit of adhesive on those. So again, just giving you a different look, but the idea is the same. We've punched out either squares as I did on the first one, or circles as I'm doing on this one. I think that came out cute. Yeah, that one's cute. Definitely cute. Okay, so easy, and then I could finish off the inside like I did on these, or however else I want. But you've just got 3 cutouts, whether they're, no matter what shape they are, and you're putting something in the middle. So whether it's a punched out shape or a cutout shape or something, you're putting something there and leaving the other 2 open so that you can get a lot of that DSP coming through. And then you're stamping your words here. So then to use those negative images, so I could go 1, 2, 3 on here, like that. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. And again, I'm using the opposite side. Doesn't matter where you place the images. Down the middle, which would be fun. Kind of cattywampus like I did these, where, they were kind of diagonal. This time we're going to go up and down the side. So you're making 2 cards. If you don't want 2 cards, you can always save these shapes for another card at another time. You don't have to do it at the same time. It's just nice to go ahead and use them, I think. So then I'm going to just put, again, I'm using up all of my extra little bits off of these dimensional sheets. And I think I'll put that one there. And I'll use these 2, some of my mini dimensionals that are also down to the end. I just keep it out to remind myself to use all those little bits until I open a new sheet. Go. And then, whoops. After this one, I don't think I'm going to use the leaves on this one. Or maybe I'll use them with the leaves. Okay, so if I wanted to make this one actually a happy Valentine's Day, I keep a whole thing of, white pieces that I've cut off. And I think that this one actually will work. So let's go ahead and stamp that. I think I'm going to stamp that one in the red also, which is the Sweet Sorbet. It's kind of a reddish pink. It's not really red. It's a beautiful color. I think because it's not a red, it really just goes with anything. There we go. Okay. Now I could have left a little more room and, dovetailed those ends or something. But I think on this one, I'm actually going to maybe where do I want to put that over here? See, I was thinking about, I think I'm just going to trim it close. since I don't have a lot of room on this one. And I can put this one here. And then I just wanted to see what it might look like to use the leaves. I may not want them, but yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it. Okay. And I could pop this one up as well if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down. All right, so then to maybe give this one a little bit more interest, I had some leftover. I store my all of my shapes and my rhinestones and all of that in these photo boxes. And I had some of these left over from last year. Now these are red, but I don't think they're big enough to really make a problem for this. And I'm just going to put some of these, and I might even put some white ones. Whoops. There it is. Hard on the loose. There we go. I'm just, I hate to leave things just. See how that just always, these little things just step it up. There we go. So I think I'm just going to leave the 3 on that. All right, so you saw that was quick and easy. Let me just stick these back in here. That's a good tip to use these to store your rhinestones and things, because a lot of times it's hard to know what to do with them. So these are the 2 that we made here. We just punched out the 3 circles and then used those circles over here on this card. Otherwise, they're pretty much the same. And then I have this one where I did the squares, just turned them more like a diamond shape, and used those on here. So I think the cards came out really cute, and they're quick and easy. And I hope you might try it. Have a great day.